What is going on, y'all? Listen, it's been a long time since I uploaded a video, but welcome back to my channel. Subscribe so you are updated when I post new videos and all that stuff. And if you have been subscribed to me, welcome back. I know you are probably like, where have you been, girl? Like, where's these updated videos? I don't even know when was the last time. I think the last video I did was with me and my girls when we were trying soup or coffee. Forget one of those, but I will post those below. But my very first video on this channel, this is gonna be a chit chat, okay? I'm gonna talk to you guys about where I've been, what journey I was talking to you guys about in my very first video that I was supposed to take you guys along with me, but I didn't record that. So stay tuned, right? I don't want this intro to be too long. Stay tuned for that, okay? So yeah, let's get right into it. So you all are probably like, where have you been, girl? Like, you said you was gonna take us on a journey. What is going on? And I'm gonna talk to you guys about all of that, okay? So I'm gonna like backtrack to the subject to bring you to where I'm at now, right? So you guys are not like, okay, so when did you make that decision? So 7 years ago, okay, I had my son. I had a C-section with him, and I also decided to tie my tubes. So the reason I decided to tie my tubes is because his dad at the time, I'm not with his dad anymore, but his dad at the time, we spoke. His dad had like 3 kids. I had my 2 girls, and I was about to have my 3rd kid. So I was like, I don't want to have any more kids, right? And the doctors were asking me questions like, why? Like, are you sure? Like, you're young. And I'm like, I don't want to have any more kids. And then they were like, but what if you want to have more in the future? And in my head, I'm like, I'm going to be with his dad for a long time. So we already agreed like no more kids. So yes, let me just, and I could have went the other route. I could have, went on birth control or just protected myself. But right there and then I just wanted my tubes tied, right? So, my tubes were tied for 7 years because my son is 7. But, that relationship just got toxic and I didn't want to be in that relationship anymore. I used to live in New York. So I went and, things happened in that relationship where I had to, make a decision, right? On picking up and leaving and just doing what I have to do for me and mine or staying. So what I did was what was best for me and my kids, and I got up and moved out from New York all the way out here to Florida, and I've been here for 4 years, okay? I'm not gonna touch too much on what exactly happened. I'll probably make a video one day on that, but I'm just trying to like, catch you guys up on why I did my tubal reversal recently, okay? So yeah, that happened. I moved out here to Florida. God blessed me with an amazing boyfriend, right? We're almost going on 4 years, so it would be 3 more months that would be mark 4 years that we've been together, and he's been an amazing stepdad to my children. He helps me with them, takes care of them as if they're his own. And last year we touched on the topic, like because he doesn't have kids and I have my tubes tied. So we touched on that topic and we made a decision that we wanted to go through with having a tubal reversal. I did my research and we sat down multiple times and we spoke about it because having that type of surgery is not like a snap of a finger type thing. That's like a process. It costs a lot and stuff like that. So of course we spoke on it and we agreed that if we do want to have a baby in the future, I have to have that surgery done anyway, right? I called different locations and surgery centers and got different prices. Some was like doing IVF because it's much is 100%, I guess, better for you to be able to have better results, should I say. And I was like, I'm not about to pay $10,000, $11,000 for no IVF. So I was just calling and did my research, and I found an amazing location out in Clearview Water, Florida. It's called the Countryside Fertility Center. I think that's what it's called. I'm gonna put it down below. And I called them last year just to inquire information, and last year it was on sale for about $4,900, and everything that she would say would be included. They may be extra fees and stuff like that. So she was just catching me up with everything, sending me the information through email. I've spoken to her, the nurse, over the phone, and just got information. I spoke to my boyfriend about it and stuff like that, and then I put it on pause because I wasn't too sure if I wanted to get it done. So this year, right, earlier in the year, around January, February, I called again and I was like, is the price still the same? So she was like, no, it's $5,900. Last year was just like a sale that they had going on for that price. So I was like, okay. So you know, thankfully, thank God, I had the funds. And I was able to set a date to have my surgery. So I called in February, and they scheduled me for June 11th, actually. So I was like scared and nervous, and I was like, okay, I'm just gonna go for it, because at the end of the day, it was pretty scary, you know, because I already had my C-section surgery, and you know, in order for me to have my tubal reversal surgery, they would have to open my incision up again. Okay, so we scheduled that up. I paid the $5,900, and they, you know, scheduled it. And well, I paid $4,900, and then the remaining $1,000 I paid the day of the surgery. And then along with that, right? So it's that amount for the surgery in that location, and then I had to pay an extra. I think it was $300, because they had to do the EKG, the lab work, the blood, the urine, all of that stuff. And of course, insurance doesn't pay for that. Insurance will pay to help you tie your tubes, but not to like reverse it or do anything else that has to go in that matter. So I had to pay an additional $300 to get all that lab work and stuff done prior to the surgery date, you know, coming up, because I did the surgery June 11th, and then 2 weeks before I had to get all of that other stuff done, the EKG and everything. And so the lab center had to send it to the surgery center to make sure that everything was okay with all of that before they proceeded with doing the surgery. I live in Palm Beach Gardens, Florida. So from here to Clearwater, Florida, it's about 4 hours or so drive. So we had to rent a hotel to stay there for a few days, because of course we didn't want to do the surgery and then come back, because it was an outpatient surgery. So we didn't want to have to like drive all the way down there and then come back, you know, same day. So what we did was we made it into a road trip, and we drove out there, and we stood in the hotel for about 2 days. Two days, because the third day we ended up coming back. So when we went out there, I was scheduled for June 11th to have my surgery in the morning. They actually ended up changing the time for later on the next day. So I was super nervous, because I was already looking forward for the morning, getting it done. So when they called me and said, okay, well, we have to change the time, I was like, oh my gosh, like this is just like taking forever. So I was like, okay, no problem. So the next day after we made it over there, I had to wait till 1 o'clock for everything to happen and then go through the surgery and stuff. So we drove to the location, and my boyfriend and my kids went with me, and then they couldn't stay, so they had to go out for lunch, you know, because of COVID and stuff like that. So when I sat down, I was just like shaking. I was nervous, right? My best friend, right, Angie, I've known her for 19 years. She was a great support during that time, right? She still is, of course. But like, you know, when I needed her the most that time, she was like calling me, she was praying for me. You know, I have, you know, a few other friends that were calling me, family and stuff like that. And, you know, so I felt, you know, a little bit calm. And then, you know, my boyfriend was, you know, helping me feel relaxed. My kids, like, you know, everything was just like the support that I needed, I got. Right. So when my boyfriend and kids left the location, the surgery center, I started getting nervous. When they put my name around my wrist, I was like, oh my gosh, like this is happening, you know? And then, you know, they put me in the room. They asked me questions, of course. They checked my weight, all of that stuff. I had to get undressed and put the gown. And that's when I started getting even more nervous. So I was like, okay, let me just calm down. So I calmed down, and I spoke to my sister over the phone for about 15-20 minutes. So like that eased my mind a little bit, because I was distracted with the conversation we were having, so I wasn't paying too much attention about what was gonna happen next. But then the doctor came, and I had to hang up, and I was like, okay, it's about to go down. So he came, and he was just, you know, talking to me about making sure that once the surgery is done, I'm not, you know, trying to have a baby right away. I'm supposed to wait, you know, 2 months, because I had to wait for my 2 cycles, right? So 1 month each cycle. So I ended up telling him, I was like, no, we're not in a rush, because I know, you know, we have to wait anyway. So he's like, no, this is just doctor rules, we have to say this and whatnot. And, you know, he went over the instructions and stuff like that, and then he stepped away. And when he came back with the nurses, and he was like, I'm gonna give you some medication to just help you feel relaxed. I'm like, okay. From that moment on, I don't remember anything else, because of course I went under. They did what they had to do. They had to, you know, open my incision area and do the whole process and stuff. I just remember me waking up slowly opening my eyes, and I was in so much pain. Like, I felt nauseous. That's all, because the nurses was sitting in the front desk, like in front of the bed, and I was like, I don't feel well. I feel like throwing up. So they gave me the bag to, you know, throw up. She helped me sit up, and it was just like, it was just a feeling. Like I didn't really have to do it. It was just a feeling. So she ended up calling my boyfriend to come pick me up. It was an outpatient thing. So it was about 2 to 3 hours of everything that was happening, and then, you know, he arrived and the nurse helped me up, and as I was walking slowly, I was just like out of it, from all the anesthesia and all the medication and all that stuff. So as I was going into my car, he was helping me in the car. I don't remember what happened, but my kids was like I was talking on the phone with my mom, because at one point I was like, I need to call grandma to let her know I'm okay, and they were like, you already FaceTimed her, and I was just like, I don't remember that. I do remember afterwards, my best friend, she was like so nervous because she expected me to call her after the surgery. It's been hours, my phone was off because I had to turn it off. And her husband actually told her, get in contact with her boyfriend through Facebook, because I forgot to give her my boyfriend's number. So she got in contact with him through Facebook. She gave him her number. He called her, said everything was fine, etc. So I know she wanted to kick my butt because I was supposed to give that information to her before then. But you know, overall, the pain, I started feeling the pain. They gave me pain medicine. I laid down, you know, my boyfriend and my kids were taking good care of me while we were in the hotel. And, you know, I can say that the pain was painful. Like I can, like every time I got up, I can feel like, you know, so much pain in my lower area, the stomach, of course. But then I started feeling chest pain, and, you know, they said that was normal because of all the medication. And then the third day, we ended up, you know, driving back out here, back to where we live, and I had to be on bed rest, but my chest just kept hurting me. And so I ended up calling the nurse, and she was like, yeah, you have to get up and move around as much as you can so the medicine can wear off. So when I started doing that, everything was much better. You know, I was feeling less pain. I was able to move around more. You know, I did have to eat soup the first 2 days, I believe. And then after that, I was able to eat solids again. And overall, listen, it was an amazing experience at that location, at that hospital, because everybody was so nice. I highly recommend them. Again, I'm going to put their name down below. But it was a decision that me, you know, my boyfriend and I decided to do, and you know, it's done. It's been since June, so what, July, August, September, October, 4 months already, post-surgery, and I feel amazing, right? As far as, you know, when we plan, that's, you know, in the near future. We're not planning anytime soon, but that surgery had to be done, so like that, when we do plan, I don't have to go through that, right? So I wanted to just get that out the way, that surgery and everything to go with it. But I've heard a lot of successful, you know, stories with tubal reversal, and, you know, prior to me getting mine done, besides calling different locations, I was always watching YouTube videos on other, you know, women going through it and their successful stories with being able to, you know, conceive afterwards and stuff like that. So stay tuned for that whenever that happens. But of course, you know, we want to get our house, we want to get married, and, you know, then prepare for that. But it's always in God's timing. You can plan stuff, but it's always in God's timing, because he already has our life figured out, right? So we just got to go with the flow. But I wanted to just come on here and talk to you guys about that, and, you know, hopefully this inspired, you know, anyone out there who's been searching just like I was searching, because I know a lot of females do that. They, you know, if they went through that situation with getting their tubes tied, you know, and they want to have a baby again, and they have to go through it with getting it reversed. So if I was one that was always on YouTube searching, so I know this video is gonna touch somebody or a few people who are going through the same thing, and want to make a decision on whether or not they want to do it, or, you know, where to go, where to start, should I say, because, you know, that's a lot of questions that you get, like, that you ask yourself, like, you know, where do I start, where do I go, how much is it, you know, is it worth it? I definitely would say it was worth it. You know, there's a lot of locations that charge different prices, so you just got to do your research. But if you are in the Florida area, I highly recommend to go to Clearview Water, Florida. Clearwater, I said Clearview. Listen, I'm gonna post everything down below, okay? But yes, I highly recommend that location. Again, it was $5,900 for the surgery and everything that goes along with that. And then I had to pay a separate fee of $300 for the EKG, the lab work, and all that stuff. I might post a clip because I was able to save some IG stories from when I had my surgery, when I was in the hospital to when I came home, on just me updating social media and how I was feeling and stuff like that, because I do work from home, so part of my business is on social media. That's going to be in my next video, the businesses that I do from home and how I'm a stay-at-home mom and all that stuff. Hey y'all, what is going on? So I am resting. My next dose of meds is around 3 or 4 o'clock. The pain is coming and going, but hubby's taking good care of me. The kids are taking care of me as well. Hey everyone, good morning. So I'm standing, still got some pain going on, still swollen, of course. But this morning I was in extreme pain. Now I'm feeling a little bit better. So thank you so much for tuning in. I will be uploading frequently on here. I'm gonna try to stay more active on here. But again, I hope this inspired anyone that passes through this video, because yeah. But anyways, I'll be back on here, right? Stay tuned for the next one, because you already know it's about to be lit.